Welcome into the Morning Roast. This Thursday, July 23rd, Greg Hirsch, Tyler Krusz, Marqus Cesar in studio. You heard it there. The streak comes to an end, but not before they tied it in the 1 o'clock game. They tied the all-time Red Sox record, so the streak ends at 15. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about that. They had to end at some point. What a day they gave me yesterday. I took my own advice, got all the work done before noon, and I settled in, and they gave me an unbelievable run here. They gave us all an unbelievable run. So, I don't know. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like it's now up to the men in charge to make sure that this isn't just, a great 2 weeks in the summer.
Right.
And
exactly.
to turn this into like a decent season.
Well,
rather than a decent run.
You guys are a lot younger than I am. I got more tread on the tires, but I would argue that you guys too, everybody, wouldn't it nice to get a do-over every now and then? Like to get a do-over in life? Be nice. These Red Sox just got a do-over.
Yeah.
From that garbage that we watched for so long. That 15-game win streak just gave them essentially a do-over. They're in the third wildcard spot now.
Yeah.
Now what do you do with it? Like you're saying. What do you do with it?
Was this just a good couple weeks?
Yeah.
You're off today and then you go out west. You're not back home till August.
Right.
You don't make any noise out west, and that could be your acquisitions. There go your reinforcements.
Sure.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So like it's the players did what they did their job. For these 15, 16 games, they did their job. The Anthony Sieglers of the world, the Contrerases, everybody did their job. The pitching staff was great. I think their run differential was like plus 50.
It's incredible.
6 heading into last night. Now it's up to the guys in the suits.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Right. And they got a do-over too. Be lucky that you did.
Yeah.
Thank the team.
You had, Ness and Mike's playing Sell the Team. You know what I'm saying? Like they were cranking that up so everyone could hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they get an opportunity to say, okay, you might have screwed this up. Now you got an opportunity. Now, we'll get into it. There's maybe some credit to give Craig Breslow in some ways with some of this.
Yeah, he sent Roman Anthony down. But some of the guys, I can't take credit for this. I forget who was talking about it, but it might have been Beetle. But, some of the guys they're riding are Craig Breslow guys, right? Wilson Contreras, Craig Breslow guy. Rafaela, Craig Breslow guy. Well, he signed him. No, I don't know. Maybe he signed him to the extension.
That's what I mean. Signed him to the extension. He believed in him, right? Okay.
I saw Rafaela play in Portland 2022, and I was like, this guy's the next Mookie Betts.
Sure.
Like the eye test was there.
Right. But I mean, I guess when I say Breslow guy, I mean, he backed Rafaela.
Okay. So then Bayo, Breslow guy.
Oh, there's plenty. Believe me, there's plenty on the other end.
If we're going with guys he didn't bring in, but extended,
exactly.
Bayo, Christian Campbell, Breslow guy. Like if we could play this both ways.
Yeah, there's a lot more weight on that side. So, but we see what he does now.
Yeah,
so
Caleb Durbin had to, I like the way that Caleb Durbin's turned the season around. It looks like they've got the corner of their infield for the next couple of years. Durbin, Contreras until 2029. I like that. That's fine. Yeah. Now figure out the middle.
Oh,
what's going on there? Figure out the middle. Figure out the outfield logjam.
Yep.
All of your good starting pitchers are lefties, so that needs to get figured out.
Sure.
Besides Sonny Gray.
Yep.
Everybody's a lefty.
Yeah.
Everybody's a lefty. You got to figure that out.
Such an overload of left-handed pitchers and outfielders.
Left-handed batters, too.
And left-handed batters, right? So a little bit of a odd construction there, and they got to figure that out. But the Red Sox have given the suits a reason to get aggressive at the trade deadline.
Which they should. They need to.
Yeah.
They need to. You can't just... If you don't, then this becomes a great run and an otherwise unsuccessful season. You make the third wild card... I'm sorry, unsuccessful season.
Completely.
From what our expectations were at the beginning of the year to... You made the third wild card last year, and like you had the chances to go get better because you were bringing back Crochet, Anthony, all these guys, So like, if you make the third wild card here... Unsuccessful season. You go give them reinforcements. They go on a run.
Yep.
Fine.
And if you go big, let's play that out for a second. You go big in the trade deadline. You give them what we're asking for, what the team is asking for. And for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. Well, then that's on the players.
That's on the players. Yeah. That's on the Mets situation. The Mets have one of the highest payrolls in baseball. They went out there, they got Juan Soto, they got their guys, and they're not good.
No.
But like if I were a Mets fan, I'd be okay with my front office.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be really mad
you're
at Juan
putting yourself
Soto.
in a position to compete, right? So
give these guys what they need now. They've shown that they're worth it. Give them what they need. All right, we got a great show for you. Either way, Tyler's going to give you some tickets today, too. We're going to talk with Larry Mahoney, the Bangor Daily, as we always do on Thursday. Unfortunately, I don't think I promised you the phones lines would be back today, but we thought they would be. The phone lines are still down. And IT is desperately working on this. We are hope to have it fixed.
Yeah, they're here right now.
Yeah, it's just not happening. Roast is presented by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get Luke, get sold the Next Home Experience. Greenway Equipment Sales, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith Brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth because nothing runs like a deer. Let's do it. All right, in game one, Jake Bennett gives you 5 2/3, 3 Ks, 3 earned runs. He has a 1.64 ERA in his last 7. Nobody saw Jake Bennett coming.
No, he's been great. He's been great. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, this is more of a Tracy guy than a Breslow guy.
Yeah, right. Sure. I give him credit. Yeah, absolutely. And then he took a 102 mile an hour line drive to the gut and didn't even flinch. Threw the guy out at first.
Yeah. And he's not slim. He doesn't have a six-pack there. He's got some padding. He was able to eat that.
Yeah. I was wondering. I'm wondering what he's got cooking under there because, I mean, he just did not an expression on his face. He's like a cyborg on the mound. He doesn't give you much at all. Give me number 1 on Durbin getting that win. They tied the record at 15. Nobody was interviewing Caleb Durbin 2 months ago.
No one cared. Yeah.
Now he's getting all the mics.
2 months ago when Cora batted him cleanup, we were like, this is a protest.
Yeah, right. It is. Yeah, exactly. This is a problem. But it just, he sparked another one in the first game. It was awesome. We've all become Caleb Durbin fans, and he's earned it. He's made us earn it. So, pretty cool. Game 2, Rivera gets a start because Brian Bayo can't pitch in the first friggin' inning like a baby.
Well, he came back as a bullpen piece. Like, he didn't come back to the team as a starter.
Yeah.
They were going to go with Suarez. Yeah. Like, Bayo's your long reliever.
He is. But because Suarez, they didn't want to get him out there, they got to do the whole gimmick where Rivera pitches and then Bayo comes in. Rivera stinks. He already got sent down after the game. He gives up 4 in the first, and it was just too insurmountable to come back from.
40 pitches and 2 outs.
Yeah, it was brutal. Duran misplays a ball off the wall, and it's, instead of 3-0, it's 4-0. And it just went down from there.
And then your offense gets one hit through the first 5 innings or something like that.
One of which was Monasterio, who tried to turn 100% of a single into a double off the wall, off a line drive off the wall, and gets tossed out at second.
Just pressing.
So it's a 5-1 loss. One thing we could talk about a little bit later on too. Give me a little bit of number 2 there. Talk about Tracy, who's about to talk to the team. Thought that was pretty cool.
After the loss?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. He's going to go talk to them about getting refocused. Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras are leading the team. They're out there. Those are your leaders.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you saw that spark with Contreras in the night game. He gets a hit and he's just trying to fire up the dugout, and it's like this is what I like. This is what I like to see. He's a leader of this team.
Yeah, he really is. He's the voice of it. You see him with the kids. Nobody wants Duran's autograph anymore. It's all Wilson Contreras, Caleb Durbin. This is it's good to see. It's good to see. A leader, a power bat in the infield, be a leader. Last year we had a power bat in the infield and he wasn't a leader, and we kind of chipped him out.
Yep.
So it's nice to see, and he is your, for everything we wanted Alex Bregman to stay for, he's kind of that guy. I think he just doesn't have time for the gimmick, he doesn't, Bregman was the one that was going to sit down and say,
he's cerebral.
Hey, Rook, you really can't be doing this. Where Contreras is like, you're a pro, be a pro.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to bottle feed you.
Yeah.
You got to man up a little bit. So, it's been good to see, and it's good to hear that they were the first 2 guys in there dealing with the team afterwards. Celtics, they receive a C- off-season grade from ESPN, but ESPN's getting blown up, so who really cares what they think, I guess. With undercutting the Knicks and the addition of Mitchell Robinson, signed Amos Queta to an extension.
They give them a C-, but they're the favorites to win the East. You look at the odds in the East, the Celtics are the favorites to win the East.
Right.
And, that's with everything they did that got them a C-, and they're the favorites to win the East this year.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So ESPN makes no sense anyway. So that's why they're all getting fired. Cooper Flagg announced on an episode of Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart that he and his cousin are going to be opening a card shop up in northern Maine. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Newport area, Bangor area, whatever, but they're opening a card shop, which I thought was pretty cool. And Wembanyama is going to be on the cover of 2K27. They announced that already, huh? Rightfully so.
Was that new? Like, did that come out yesterday?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right. Bangor Mall Cinema is Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinemas features luxury recliners, upgraded food menu, find show times, reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. And Bangor Window Shade and Drapery offer custom blinds, shades, drapery, outdoor awnings. Bangor Window Shade, 105 Main Street, Bangor. Morning Roast, brought to you by Hero Sports Grill and Entertainment Center, the official sports grill of the Morning Roast. The place to be, downtown Bangor, herosportsgrill.com.
All right, I've got a couple tickets. I'll start with a very quick one here. So the very nice people at Pine Hill Golf Course, beautiful course out there, were kind enough to give the Morning Roast two membership cards. Greg and I both looking to get out this weekend, but it turns out both membership cards are down in the Cape. So that's fun. Thank you, Sully. Sully's going to get a ticket for that. So
I know.
But like, very commendation to Pine Hill. I mean, that's awesome of them
phenomenal.
to do that. Yeah, I felt like a celebrity. Like, I'm going to be there 20 more times than I was last year now.
Yeah, I can't wait. What day are you going? Saturday or Sunday?
I'll figure it out. I got to talk to the lady and see what afternoon, because like those evening afternoons open. It's
wide
nice.
Open.
Yeah.
That's
weekend evenings, evening afternoon. Yeah, those are the same word.
Yeah. You're talking late afternoon. You're talking.
Yeah, I'm talking like 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Dinner time.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody's on the course.
Not a bad idea.
Nice.
All right, you give me thoughts. Go ahead.
All right, and my next ticket is going to go, and I think this is like the third or fourth ticket I'm giving this guy this year, but Bryson DeChambeau gets another ticket for being, a petulant baby on the golf course. Look, when this guy wins, he is electric. He's exciting. He makes people watch golf that normally wouldn't watch golf. He brings a different vibe to it. It's like protein golf, basically. He just mashes the ball, and it's fun. It's kind of like a meathead golf. But then when he loses, he's also a meathead in a bad way. And the other day he's at the Open. I don't know. I can't remember if he made the cut or not. But he hasn't made any cuts at majors this year. He's been really bad. And he gets a two-stroke penalty basically for hits his ball in the fescue and then stomps all the tall grass around him flat to give himself a better shot on the downswing, and then gets a two-stroke penalty for that, and then is in the face of the officials at the Open Championship, arguing about the two-stroke penalty and throwing a fit and making himself look awful and saying he's not even going to show up the next day. He's like, if I get this penalty, I'm not coming back. Like,
created
okay, great,
huge delay.
Go play at a local muni and YouTube it, you idiot. Like, I don't understand. And then it comes out that he wanted to call Donald Trump, the president, and get him to overturn the two-stroke penalty, to sanction the Open Championship. Like, are we not going back to the old course? I don't understand. Like, newsflash, buddy, this ain't soccer. We're not getting our penalties reversed by the president here. But it's just everything he's done in the past year or so since losing to Rory McIlroy in the Masters has been kind of insufferable. Yeah, it really has. Like, he's complaining about his clubs. He's got the 3D printed crap, and then he's complaining when they don't work, and he's yelling at officials, and it's major championship week. He misses the cut and he goes and films at a local muni. He's doing more for YouTube golf than he is for actual golf. It seems like he doesn't want to beat Scotty Scheffler anymore. He wants to beat the views record.
Right. Yeah. He's the king of YouTube golf. Basically,
it just makes no sense. Like, you were It was a fun shtick. It really was.
You're right.
He hits the crap out of the ball. I'm going to hit the ball a mile. I have an advanced physics degree from Stanford, so all of my irons are the same length, and a different approach of golf, and I'm high-fiving kids at the turn, and it was fun until it wasn't, and then it wasn't when it got not fun. It just became really insufferable. Like, he is. I hate when athletes are still kind of act like that little leaguer who can't stand striking out.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
That's fine when you're 8 years old, but when you're a pro athlete and you're still acting like that, it drives me nuts. Like, we know it just shows that, you could have all the best tools in the world and nothing else matters. You know, like you can be a petulant baby, and as long as you're good at this, that's fine. And that really grinds my gears, because these guys they should be role models to other people. They really 100%. Should be, and they don't have to be. No one asked them to be a role model. They didn't sign up for it, but
they are
They
regardless.
really should carry themselves with a little bit more professionalism, especially on the golf course, where it's just so stand up, sit down. You know, it's very formal. You can't be, I don't know, you can't be yelling at the officials after clearly having a 2-stroke penalty and then calling the government to intervene with the golf score. That's the worst look. That's such a bad look.
It is a bad look. It's a bad look, and especially when you're not very good anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other issue, right? Like, it's one thing if you're in contention all the time and, you know, you got a hair-trigger temper. We tend to just let that go a little bit. But when you're irrelevant and you're doing it, it's a bad look.
And it looks even worse after what just happened with FIFA a couple of weeks ago. Like, I mean, that was the White House doing that on their own.
Sure.
Calling for the red card, which I didn't agree with, but that's a different conversation. This is Bryson saying, like, hey, can you help me? Remember when we broke 50 from the front tees on YouTube? Like, it's awful. I can't do it.
It's bad. And Rory didn't like it.
No. I mean, nobody liked it.
No. Do we have the clip of Rory on there?
If you, not an argument, but like say you have a disagreement with your buddy on the course, that's solved in like a minute.
Sure.
2 minutes. It's like, I'm just dropping here and, you could score me what you want.
That's
done.
that.
But like to hold up a whole, there are 4 majors during the year. Like there's 1 in 4 broadcast days where you can sit down and watch major championship golf. And he held up the whole thing.
Right.
For himself because he stomped around on the fescue and then thought that he wasn't going to get caught.
I love the dignity of the just not very fond of him.
As if Rory's got a high horse too. Like,
I know exactly. Rory, you can be a little performative yourself too. Yeah, but it just sounds better, right? Than some American being like, I don't like the guy. Yeah, but no, good stuff. Your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street, Union Street in Bangor, Wilson Street in Brewer. Get an extra value meal with extra value when using your McD app in July. Get a classic quarter pounder with cheese or filet of fish extra value meal for only $8 when using your McD app. We'll be right back. Start your morning at Goslin's Bakery, 334 Harlow Street in Bangor. Grab a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin or a croissant, plus legendary donuts and pastries made since 1945. All right. We had Alex Barth on yesterday talking Patriots and what to expect. Gave us some of his thoughts. He wrote a great column on positions to watch in training camp. One of the things, though, is a major concern is edge rushing, right? We don't have Chase on. Harold Landry's on the PUP list already, and he's going to be a part-time player probably anyway because of his age and his injuries. And Gabe Yakas, they traded up to get him. He ain't there. He doesn't have a contract.
He's not signed. Yeah.
He's not signed. So give me Burt Breer on his thoughts on where we're at, Gabe Yakas.
So when they say redshirt year, explain to me how this works. Do they still have the rights to sign him for another couple of years then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the Bo Jackson situation where after a couple of years he was available to the Raiders even though the Buccaneers drafted him and he said, go screw.
Right, exactly. And this, I don't think, is that situation, but at the same time...
No, Yakas isn't playing baseball.
No, he's not doing anything. Yeah, he's not doing anything. He's not Bo Jackson. But he did have an injury, right? And that was a bit of a concern, I think. The fact, though, that he won't sign a contract, or he hasn't signed a contract yet, is a major, major problem because that was the guy coming out of the draft. Caleb Lomo was your first-round draft pick, but everybody figured that's going to be a year in the making, probably, right? Like, you're not going to see him. Gabe Yakas, you need an edge rusher.
You were supposed to get him, this year.
And he was the guy you traded up to get him.
It surprises me. You traded up to get him. You have this position of need. He's this guy that you drafted him so he could impact your team this year. What is the disagreement? Like, what are you... Is it not enough money for him?
End.
Is it on his end? It's not on their end. It's not that they're not giving him a contract worth the second. Something with the injury, right? Where he thought he was worth a certain amount of money guaranteed as the second-round pick, but then with the injury that wasn't disclosed properly, they're offering him a lot less?
I believe so. Okay. I believe that plays into it, right? So there's your problem. And
so give him a little bit more money then. I mean, you
need him.
You need this guy. You went and traded up to get him. Like, this is a guy that you expected to impact your team this year. Defensively, play a lot of snaps this year.
For sure.
You should go
to be at the very least a rotational piece in there this year in an area where you are not deep at all, and it's a problem. So, and the fact that he's missed everything up to this point, now you're way behind.
Yeah.
Now you're way behind. So
it seems like they're very far off.
Way off.
Like, they got to try to meet him halfway.
Yeah, they got to figure. They have to try to figure it out. Other areas to watch, according to Barth, we talked about it yesterday. Drake May's pre-snap responsibilities. Right back in June, quarterbacks coach Ashton Grant said, "We're trying to weaponize Drake's mind as opposed to just being thrower of the football. We want the quarterbacks to be operators of the offense." And we touched on that yesterday. It's letting Drake see the setup, see the field, make adjustments at the line. Can he be Josh McDaniels on the field? Basically, that's the next step for Drake May. Is he ready to take that step? And for me, all signs point to I think he's going to be very ready. He seems that he learns on a very quick pace. So that's something to keep your eye on, what Drake's doing there. The other area really is their weekend tight end. Tight end, the Hill guy from Miami was supposed to be their blocking tight end. And people around the league were pretty excited about that. Season-ending injury already. He's out, right? So now you're down to Hunter Henry being the only tight end in that group who has had one reception, right, at the NFL level, right? So a lot of pressure falls on Eli Reardon, the rookie. And, all reports are he's a pass-catching tight end, little thin. So is he going to be eventually a lot of hope for the guy? Is there going to be a weakness in the tight end position? Is that an area they're going to need to address as well? So
it sounds like, especially blocking-wise, but you have a fullback now.
Yep.
You're not throwing in your backup tight end in the backfield to lead block for the runner. You can throw the fullback on the, and line him up in the tight end position if you really needed to get an extra blocker out there.
Sure, absolutely. Mac Hollins gives you a little bit of a guy on the line as well.
That does worry you. Because a lot of Josh McDaniels' success has come off of, two tight ends, having one that can block and one that can catch. Yeah.
Big time. And Henry's not exactly a great blocker.
No.
So it's definitely an area of weakness you're seeing there. Other areas, Travion Henderson, can he get his blocking down so he can be used in the passing game as well? Because that was one of the reports on one of the accolades on him, rather, coming out of college, is he was a hell of a pass-catching running back as well. Couldn't really get it done last year because his blocking wasn't good enough. So is that an area where, once again, fullback helps? Fullback helps a lot, especially in the running game for him. Can he run? Because one of the other areas he had a problem with was vision, right? He was immediately stopped as soon as he ran into contact. Does the fullback help him too?
Yeah, I think the fullback's going to help Travion Henderson a lot. I think Travion Henderson is obviously not as good, but similar to James Cook. And look at the year James Cook had behind that very same fullback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to help with those breakout runs for Travion Henderson. But really, we can break down the X's and O's and the blocking tight ends and the edge rushers. I am so excited to see Drake May throw touchdowns to A.J. Brown. That's all it's really, we finally have a stud wide receiver one again.
Right.
And we have a quarterback that just came off an MVP. Let's run it out. Let's put up 50 points a game. I don't care who's edge rushing.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. Let it fly, baby. Let it fly. So, yeah, we're jacked on that. But just being honest, it's like, okay, what areas do we need to keep an eye on, I guess? And those are some of the areas. But yeah, I think the positives will outweigh, the deficits. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Start your morning. Oh, no, I already did that one. Uno Pizzeria and Grill, where they have late night deals every night in the bar or lounge, 9 p.m. to close. Enjoy $6 apps, $5 cheeseburgers, $5 Indy cheese and pepperoni deep dish, $7.25 Stillwater Ave in Bangor. We'll be back. Maine Athletics this fall. It's time to pack the stands at Alpha and cheer on Maine football. Season tickets are on sale now. Give you the best value and best seats for every home game. Visit goblackbears.com/tickets. All right. Tyler was saying, so Maine Black Bear football, they had their media day was yesterday. They do their predictions. Black Bears predicted to be 7th in conference. So, that middle of the pack area, usually they're predicted way down. So at least they got a little bit of a bump there. But, I know the Black Bears love to use that for a little bit of a motivational factor too. So that's pretty cool. And then also, let me get to it and find it right here. Chris Bacon. Redshirt junior defensive lineman named to the All-CAA preseason team as well.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit of props there for our Black Bears, which is cool. Now back to the Sox, right? We talked about Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras being in the clubhouse afterwards saying refocus. Chad Tracy didn't even need to go in there because they had it covered. Give me Contreras there on post series talk there. Awesome to have a guy like that.
For sure.
Right?
Especially after losing Bregman.
Yeah.
Having a veteran guy who can step in and just bring up the morale like that, give such a good perspective on what you have accomplished.
Yep.
And not have to have the coach in the locker room.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Massive.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the at that level, and to have a leader like that, where like you're saying, Tracy doesn't need to be that guy. And there's a lot of young guys. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of young guys in there. To have a Wilson Contreras that's been there, done it. And rah-rahing the crew and saying, hey, we're doing something special here. This is still something to be proud of, and let's keep this going now that we found our way out of this mess that we were in.
Yeah.
Right? And keep it going. Becoming a huge Wilson Contreras fan.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to look at the guys and say, we reached the mountaintop. We didn't plant our own flag, but we got there.
Right.
And that is something to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, keep your head on straight and let's keep riding this wave.
Right. They miraculously found a way to basically delete the whole,
Exactly.
right? That whole mess of the worst Red Sox team since 1965 or whatever it was.
Exactly. Like, we broke bad records.
It's amazing. Right. Yeah, exactly. So like that kind of turnaround, it's like, okay, hey, let's go now. Like we fixed it. It was something that was pretty damn close to unfixable, and you fixed it. And you've got the fan base back. You've got management looking at you in a different light, hopefully. You've got a completely different attitude around this team. And I wonder if Trevor Story were still there, how that kind of would have worked a little bit, because, this team needs to be led by Wilson Contreras.
Right.
You need a guy like that. So awesome to hear about that. I wanted to get into Sonny Gray. I don't think we're going to have time right now. Sonny Gray we got a second or two?
Yeah.
All right. All the talk prior to this streak was we're going to have to trade. We're going to have to get rid of guys, Sonny Gray being one of them. Give me Chris Cotillo there. Came this one yesterday.
No, you hear that and say that doesn't make sense? Like, that makes perfect sense to me. Look, you got a lot of pitching, and you're going to get something back for him. It's not really a sell if you're getting a good return. It's a trade. If you're selling him for prospects down the line, that's a sell. But if you're getting rid of Sonny Gray and you're bringing back, Tatis, if you're bringing back Bobby Witt, if you're bringing back James Wood, I doubt the Nationals would trade James Wood, but just throwing names out there.
Goodman there for the catcher.
That's not a sell. That's a good trade.
For me, you would have to get, like, Tatis would be an example of what I don't want. I don't want an aging guy, right? Like, I want a starter, a Bobby Witt.
You need a starting offensive player to add to your lineup that is going to provide power. And
provide term, too.
Yeah, you're going to trade him for one of those guys. Or you're going to extend him. I'd rather that than let him walk. Now, he's a 36-year-old, best year of his career.
You're in a tough spot. Because there's a lot of maybes into that Chris Cotillo thing there. Suarez comes back and is good. Crochet's a huge maybe. Early comes back if he comes back, and can he, the young arm, Peyton Tolley, we heard it yesterday. These guys are about to max out on the most innings they've ever pitched. That's a lot. That's a lot to put on a team that's now in the third wild card spot.
But you'd rather just let him walk.
I'm at a loss on what to do on that one. I really am right now, because if you, like we've said before, if you move Sonny Gray now, what's the message to the team? Unless you're bringing back,
yeah.
The value, it all comes down to what you get.
You're going to get good value for this. Like there are going to be people that are calling for you for Sonny Gray.
Right. No, exactly. So we'll see where it goes. That is in a very, very difficult spot now. Connect to the Ticket social media channels, 92.9 The Ticket on Facebook, 92.9 The Ticket on Instagram, sports.net.maine on TikTok, and our YouTube page, Sportsnet Maine. Happy birthday, 1965, to the one and only Slash. Appetite for Destruction was released, I believe, yesterday. In 87. So, yeah, Slash's birthday today. Other birthdays. This is a great birthday. 1933, Don Drysdale, Hall of Fame pitcher for the LA and Brooklyn Dodgers, 3 World Series championships, 9-time All-Star. 1961, Woody Harrelson, just in everything. Yeah, phenomenal. Was in Hunger Games, also in Hunger Games, born in 1967. Philip Seymour Hoffman passed away in 2014. Just phenomenal. What a talent he was. Gone way too soon. 1989, Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter. And 1998, DeAndre Ayton, NBA center. So events this day in history. 1777, King Louis XVI of France agrees to supply the United States with munitions during the American Revolution.
That's huge. We probably don't win the war without that.
Yep, absolutely. It was, huge. 1827, first U.S. swimming school opens in Boston. 1829, William Austin Burt patents America's first typewriter, the topographer. 1904, the ice cream cone created during the St. Louis World's Fair. Do you know back before the ice cream cone, what they would do on like the streets of the cities? They hot days, they would put ice cream in glass dishes, and you would like eat out of the dish.
Oh, that's cool.
Eat like a cone. Yeah, cool until you hand the dish back. They rinse it out with a little cold water, and they put the next scoop in and hand it to the next dude.
You couldn't just buy a cone and walk away.
No, they're just they're not. The hygiene wasn't exactly up to par on those things.
For me.
Yeah. Sports history: 1925, Lou Gehrig hits his first of 23 career grand slams. 1955, Yankee Bob serve. E. Howard, a first to hit consecutive pinch hit home runs. 1976, Baltimore Oriole Reggie Jackson homers 6 consecutive games. No. Athletics.
Yeah, no, I think he went from the Orioles to the Yankees because he joined the Yankees in 77.
Yeah, but didn't he come from the A's?
He was. I know he joined the Yankees in 77.
I don't remember him ever going to the Orioles.
That's when he fought Billy Martin. In 1977.
Oh, absolutely. 2021, Cleveland Indians announced they'll be renamed the Guardians after the Guardians of Traffic. 8 large Art Deco statues on Hope Memorial Bridge located near their playing field. All right. Holidays today.
That's like if we were the Boston Italian sausages.
Yeah, right.
Just like, what's near the stadium? You know?
Exactly. He said, just pick something. Holidays today, it's Vanilla Ice Cream Day. It is Sprinkle Day. Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. These all go together perfectly, by the way. And Refreshment Day. So enjoy, and we'll be back with 7 o'clock hour. Welcome into the 7 o'clock hour of the Morning Roast. Greg Hirsch, Tyler Cruise, Marqus Cesar in studio. Red Sox streak comes to an end in the evening game, but not before they tie it in the afternoon game. What a run it's been for this Red Sox team. 1946, 15 in a row. They tie the Red Sox all-time record. Who would have ever thought we'd be in this position a month ago? Yeah. Unbelievable. Gentlemen, how are we holding up?
Doing well. It was nice to hear the fans applaud after the loss last night because the Boo Birds were out in the first inning really early.
It was a little weak. You know, they were killing Rivera there. He was terrible. He was terrible. He couldn't find the strike zone to save his life. And it's all because Bayo can't pitch in a first inning for some unbelievable reason. But you know what?
Bayo looked good.
He looked good though. He
didn't give up a run.
He looked good. He drives me a little crazy though. He did look good. Didn't give up a run. He gets himself into long pitch counts. Like he really tries to nibble on the edges.
He goes down 0-2 and then he really tries for the strikeout.
Yeah.
When he's a ground ball pitcher.
Yeah, he is. He is. So I know, and that's why I wish he'd give him a little bit more to hit and just let the ball work for him a little bit. Let the team work for him. I think it would save him a little bit more. But you know what? Neither here nor there. They won 15 in a row. They're in the third wild card spot, and now you're in serious talks to figure out where do you go with this team. And we heard from Chris Cotillo, he still likes moving on Sonny Gray because of the situation they're in with the contract, and you're going to lose him either way. Boy, that's a tough one.
Unless you want to pay him, which
which is probably a bad idea.
You could pay him for a year. You could give him $15 million and then an incentive-based contract, and then for a 1-year deal. He's 36 years old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't like the message it would send moving Sonny Gray, at this point. It's just after all the work they've done, he's a veteran arm. You can count on him. You're really relying on some young pitchers that have not gone this distance before. And the odds of that, all their arms holding up is pretty slim.
Yeah, but what's one guy going to do? You're already relying on all these young pitchers. Yeah. You just got Sonny Gray, once every 5 days.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a good return for him and you're not going to bring him back next year, I don't see why not. And when I say good return, I don't mean 5 guys on the prospect list that are all going to be in AA.
Stud,
I mean, give me an MLB player.
Yep.
I'm fine with trading him for that. It's if you sell him for prospects, that's going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because you've got a big road trip. You're back home in August, and then the deadline's August 3rd. You're gone until August.
Yeah.
Lost last night, day off today. You go out west.
Yep.
Do you keep this thing moving? If you drop a couple series out west, are you out of bye territory?
It's interesting. Depends how the rest of the league. It's tight, right? It's tight.
Do you want to buy for a wild card? You want to go out there and buy for a team that's probably not going to get out of the ALDS.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah,
it really is.
Because which is why they need to keep winning.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll see. I mean, it comes down to how they do on the field, man. These guys, they believe. That's the thing is these guys, they believe in each other, which is pretty awesome to see. Still a lot of holes in that lineup.
Yeah, it feels like last year a little bit when they were really hot and we were like, how sustainable is it? I mean, these guys are good. They're playing over their heads. They've done their jobs and then some.
Yeah, they have.
There were fans with, I've said it the last couple of days, there were fans with bags on their heads chanting sell the team for the first couple months of the season. And now look at Fenway now. And that's because of the players, So now the front office needs to go do their job. The winning streak's over, but that doesn't mean you get to just kick your feet back and say, well, we're not going to sell, we're not going to buy. We're going to watch the trade deadline.
Right. I think they have to go hard in the paint on buying something. They've got to do something and be aggressive about it. And if you're going to be aggressive the other way, be aggressive the other way too. Yeah. But don't just sit there on your hands, because now this team has found a way to completely remove all the crap that started the year and get themselves into this type of position. Now Breslow has a second opportunity. They've got a second chance now to get this thing right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But a lot of stuff going on. Patriots are starting up this weekend. It's going to be great. It's Maine football. We mentioned that last hour for a second or two. The preseason rankings came out. They got the Black Bears 7th. You thought that was probably a good spot
for a preseason poll,
because usually they're way down.
So they've been on the come up. They're 7th, but the teams ahead of them are all teams that look like they could beat. But it's like hockey a couple of years ago.
Sure.
They got to prove it first, and then they'll put you up there. You got to prove it. You got to finish in that top 5 if you want to be picked in that top 5.
Yep, you do. And I know the Black Bears love using that for motivation. Where usually it's way down the bottom, so they got them a little bit higher. So we'll see where that goes.
Brody Rams picked first.
There you go. Yeah.
Repeat.
Can't take it out of you, man. Unbelievable. Hey, Greenway Equipment Sales, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith Brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth, because nothing runs like a deer. Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor. Right next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip Fresh Boba. Explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. Let's do headlines. All right, so in game one, Sox win 6-3. Jake Bennett goes 5 2/3, 3 Ks, 3 earned runs, 1.64 ERA in the last 7. This kid has just been something special to watch. Doesn't get rattled on the mound, takes a line drive to the gut. No emotion there, just throws the ball to first.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
These are the young guys we're relying on. When you say we'd have to rely on a bunch of young guys, you could also say we'd have to rely on Jake Bennett and Peyton Tolley. You know, and that makes you feel a lot better than saying just young guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they seem like they're not slowing down.
Yeah.
Right? Game 2, Rivera can't locate the strike zone. He's all over the place. Duran misplays one off the wall, and boom, 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 it's 4-0. And it just felt fairly insurmountable. I know how hot they've been, but it just felt like you can't spot someone with 4-0 lead in the first. Monasterio gets and then it's just one thing that added to another. Monasterio gets a hit off the monster line drive. He tries to extend it to a double. No business trying to extend that thing to a double. It easily gets thrown out. Bayo comes in, pitches very well, pretty much holds him down, but they just can't get the offense going. 5-1 loss. Tracy says, he thrilled about the team, was going to talk to the team, but he had Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras in there. Give me the beginning of that one if you could. Yeah, great to hear that was already taken care of. That's veteran leadership right there. And a lot of young guys, and they're looking to those veterans just to see how they react to everything. And the message was sent, let's keep this going. So
yeah, it does feel, I said this yesterday, it does feel like last year when you got rid of Devers and Bregman became the man and it became Bregman's team. You kind of sent away the young kids who were causing problems and being rowdy in the back of the class because because they got told that they were the next big thing. And now it's Contreras' team, and this is what, he's very... Everybody's responding well to that. Everybody is kind of just taking a piece of Wilson Contreras, and he's rubbing off on the whole team.
Oh, big time. Yeah, he's contagious. His enthusiasm, awesome to see. Local news, Cooper Flagg announced in an episode of Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart that he and a cousin will be opening a card shop in our area. I don't know if it'd be Newport, Bangor, what have you, but card shop coming soon to the area via Cooper Flagg, which is pretty cool. Celtics received a C- offseason grade from ESPN. Do we care about that at all?
No, I don't care about it. I think the Celtics are going to be very good. I think you look at the odds; they're one of the favorites to win the East. I think they got better. And they were a 2 seed last year. So I'm looking forward to watching the Celtics. I think 90 days till opening night, counting them down.
Crazy. Victor Wembanyama will be on the cover of NBA 2K27. They couldn't wait to get him on the cover of that, right? Like that was a done deal, regardless who won.
For sure,
right?
Yeah.
He's the face. Caitlin Clark, she received her 7th technical foul. She's 1 away from a ban.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you're not a Caitlin Clark person.
No. And I mean, I swear to God, every clip I see of her, she's just yelling at a ref.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes she gets beat up. Sometimes she's not getting beat up. Sometimes it's just like she's just yelling at the refs. She did it in college too, yelling at all the refs.
Sure. All right. So
she's fun to watch. She's fun to watch in college. She put a lot of eyes.
Phenomenal.
She put a lot of eyes on the women's sport. Eyes that weren't on them before. But then she missed a couple of years of her first pro season, and now the Fever haven't really been. They're 17-10, so they're not great. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right. All right. Well, we got a great 7 o'clock hour for you. Tyler's going to do his tickets. We're going to talk with Bangor Daily News, Larry Mahoney, a little bit later on. Next Home Experience is the market leader. Get Luke, get sold with the Next Home Experience. And your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street, Union Street in Bangor, Wilson Street in Brewer. For July, use your McDonald's app to have a great breakfast. Buy one, get one for $1 breakfast sandwiches only in the McD app. Stuck on the side of the road, Union Street Towing, they got you covered 24/7 statewide. For breakdowns to lockouts, we'll get you moving fast. Call 942-4200, driven to be there when you need them most. And Dean's Detailing is a leader in auto detailing for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good, feel good in a clean, shiny car. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. All right, Tyler, we got some tickets for some people.
Well, it's summertime, and that in the sports media world now that coinflates with their. What word am I trying to say there? That coincides with ESPN's yearly layoffs, where they cut a bunch of people who have really given them years of their lives, and they kind of do it like ruthlessly, like
brutal
sports GMs, especially Karl Ravech.
Yeah.
He's been with ESPN since 1993. He was coming up on his 35th anniversary with the company. And he found out he was being let go by ESPN by a reporter who was calling him to confirm the news.
Wow.
ESPN hadn't told him. He found out because someone had had been like, hey, is this true? And he's like, I haven't heard that yet. And then he found out that he was being let go by ESPN. 35 years of service.
Wow.
And that's how they're going to do Karl Ravech.
That's a ball to the gut, man.
That's awful.
Wow.
You know, like they got rid of Kenny Mayne. He was awesome after years. You know, like these are all so you can afford Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
you
I know.
can afford the book or the whatever movie book thing he's coming out of where he is a victim. The millionaire guy with a giant platform is a victim. You know,
And just just how the mighty have fallen.
Pretty soon it's going to be Stephen A. Smith.
Yep.
Giving us everything.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee giving us everything. And then Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Drinking with his shirt off. That's going to be ESPN. It'll be those three guys, and then whatever.
And then
whatever.
Occasionally during the football season, you get Scott Van Pelt.
Yeah, you get Scott Van Pelt. I like him on the Sports Center at night, but you got to be up at midnight to watch Scott Van Pelt. He's my favorite guy they have there. You got to be up at midnight to watch him.
That's fair. I mean, I love hearing Rich Eisen in the afternoon.
Eisen's great on the radio.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
radio.
Right.
ESPN radio, great.
Is kind of
Freddie and Harry,
awesome.
Us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's ESPN is not the same ESPN that it once was, and they had a stranglehold on sports.
No, they did. I mean, this was it was the first thing to do 24/7 sports coverage back in the 90s. Like
completely.
These guys changed the game. They can afford it. Like, you can afford to keep these guys.
Right.
You can afford to pay Stephen A. and Pat They don't even own Pat McAfee, by the way.
Oh, really?
McAfee pays his own staff for his show. They rent him.
Wow.
They pay McAfee for the right to air the Pat McAfee show on ESPN.
Interesting.
So they are literally
Brilliant on
renting
McAfee's
Pat
part.
McAfee, and he's paying all of his other employees.
Yeah.
So he's just making the money from ESPN.
Yeah, no wonder his deal is so big.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, they are just...
the whole
they're
production.
shipping out all their money to a few personalities when it used to be everything.
Yep.
You know, you used to go on SportsCenter. You had, I don't know, the Stewart.
You could
Scott,
go through a list.
I'd go through the whole list. Stan Everett. Like, these guys were awesome.
Yep.
And now, one by one, they slowly just get rid of all of our favorite people until we're left with just the loudest voices who get the most clicks because they say the most controversial
That's all
stuff.
it is.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I've had it with Kendrick Perkins and Jason Kelsey. Like, I like these guys that you're getting rid of. These guys are actual, professional multimedia TV sports journalists. Like, they are great at their jobs. They provide, and a lot of these guys, they leave ESPN. What do? They look at Lee Batard. He makes $200 million right now. Like, all these guys leave and they make more money doing it on their own. ESPN is losing out. It's not a smart business model to fire a percentage of your employees every year. Oh, and it's your employees that are making a lot of money too. Like, it's your popular ones.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're getting rid of those first. Yeah. No, it is. It's unbelievable how they have just absolutely stayed out of touch. They've lost touch with the way sports is delivered. And they were the king of it, though, right? They were the king of it, on top of the throne. All you had to do was stay ahead of the curve a little bit. You would have been fine.
And the media landscape's changing, right? Like, the way people are receiving their news digesting their information is different. It's changing. Outlets aren't making as much money because you're not selling as much in the newspapers and the magazines, right? Like, the money stream isn't as good. You can sit these guys down and say, look, you've given us 35 years, but the game is changing right now, and we're limiting our team. Like, you could sit these guys down and have that conversation with them and say, at the end of July, we're going to be letting you go.
Yeah.
Karl Ravech doesn't need to find out 2 weeks before his 35th anniversary with the company from a reporter that he got fired. You need to man up and tell these people yourselves. It's ridiculous. Like, they are human beings. You can't, just because you're ESPN, you're one of those 4-letter acronym companies, you don't get to be ruthless.
No, exactly, because you aren't who you once were.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I appreciate that. We got to give a ticket to we touched on it a little bit yesterday, but once again, the Red Sox medical staff. Like, like that one deserves such a huge ticket, because it's just with both Crochet and Anthony, you've gone through now 2 players who were both under the assumption that their injuries were fairly minor. like minor time, little bit here or there. Crochet talking about how I thought I'd miss hopefully I only miss a start. It was to that level. And both players went out and followed medical directions from the Red Sox staff and injured further the injury they were dealing with, right? Like it got worse. They hurt their own players.
With Anthony, it was almost like a misdiagnosis. Like we were getting different information on what the injury was. From Anthony, the medical staff, and Chad Tracy.
Right.
It had been months since we got an update on Garrett Crochet. It was radio silence. Like Crochet went out, they were like, "Oh, he won't miss that much time," and then we didn't hear much from him. We heard about like one setback maybe, but that was it. Like Anthony, we heard, oh, he's swinging, he's not swinging, he can't hold. Like we heard all these updates on Anthony. It's been radio silence on Garrett Crochet.
Completely. And now the news came out yesterday. People started reporting on it. On August 23rd, Crochet will reach 120 consecutive days on the IL, which will erase his ability to opt out following the 2030 season. And instead, the Red Sox actually get a $15 million team option. So it goes from a player option to a team option at that point for 2032. So yeah, he's losing the ability to opt out in 2030.
Imagine paying Garrett Crochet $15 million a year.
I know.
That's criminal.
Yeah. Exactly. He said he hopes to. He said returning before then. Crochet said will probably be impossible.
Yeah.
At this point, you're not getting Crochet. Crochet
is done for the year.
Basically done for the year. Like unless potentially playoffs, but that's like who knows.
And Roman Anthony's getting tortured in the Deadpool camp.
Yeah. Yeah, great job, medical staff. Awesome. Northeast Driving School has been the leader in driver training for over 57 years. Register today for driver's ed courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Call 942-1769 or register at northeastdrivingschool.com. Ticket TV on demand. Missed a game on Ticket TV? Not a problem. Every game is available on demand at 929theticket.com and on the Ticket app. The 2026 fall season begins on September 3rd. We'll be right back. Acadia Federal Credit Union's newest location, now open Wilson Street in Brewer. They're serving Maine since 1963 with branches in Bangor, Brewer, Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.org. And Hero Sports Grill and Entertainment Center, the official sports grill of the Morning Roast, downtown Bangor, herosportsgrill.com. All right. Yeah, man, it was a great run for these Sox. It was a great run. They got us all back, and now I'm excited not to watch a ball game tonight. I need a break. But I'm going to watch Friday night. Yeah. Like I'm going to tune in, watch them play Toronto, and see where they can take this thing. Love Wilson Contreras. His message to the team after the game.
They need to. These next 2 weeks are important because you need to prove to your front office. I think the fan base is going to be with you for. You're going to get a buffer period with the fan base.
You definitely get a buffer.
You need to prove to your front office that this was you're a good team and that this wasn't a good stretch. That you're a team worth buying for, not a team that got hot in the middle of the season.
That this is your identity.
That this is who you are.
Not
that this
the
isn't,
beginning.
That this is sustainable. That this isn't just everyone was hot at the same time. Like if Rafaela needs to keep hitting. Seigler needs to keep hitting. He's slowed down a little bit. Like you've got guys that you didn't expect to produce over 2 weeks.
Chang has been unbelievable at shortstop.
Consistently produced night in and night out. He's also hitting like 300.
He was.
And it's you need to prove that that's not just a fluke, that this wasn't just a hot streak. You need to prove that you are a good baseball team because up until 2 weeks ago, you were not.
No.
You were not a good baseball team 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And now look at all the momentum you have right now. You're in a wild card spot. You're over 500. You need to prove that this wasn't just a good stretch.
Yeah.
You need to show that, okay, that Yankee series triggered something in us, and we went on a good run, but it's also, we're a winning team, and that's our identity.
You had to win 15 games in a row.
To get the bags off people's heads.
To get bags off people's heads. And fortunately, you had a little bit of help with other teams, some teams that lost a bunch, and now you're sitting in the third wild card spot, really where you probably should have. If everything went according to plan, you probably should have been, right? At this point, if everything went according to plan, and it went nowhere near according to plan, you probably would be around the third wild card spot.
Yeah,
is
that's
what you hope, right?
that's kind of my problem, I guess. Like, I'm going to agree with you, and that's the problem I have with this team is your plan. If everything went according to plan, was to compete for a wild card spot. That was your plan.
Yeah.
Like if everything went according to plan, this team would be in the third wild card spot. Correct. Which is why Craig Breslow needs to get out of Boston.
Right. Now he gets an opportunity, though. He gets a second chance to hopefully make this team better if they keep it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like they can make that next step, and we'll see. One of the things I talked about off air was, of course, I saw it after the first game. Duran he knocks in a bunch of runs, gets a couple big hits in that first game, and then on social media, wow, where are the Duran haters now?
And 0 for 4 at night.
Like, dude.
I think he went 1 for 3.
Yeah,
in the first game, 1 for 3 with a triple.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Because one was a sacrifice RBI.
1 for 3 with a triple.
Right.
0 for 4 in the night game. So 1 for 7 in the doubleheader. But they won, right? They won during the day game.
Right.
Did you see who did the Ness in post game? Sprinted right up to Jemai.
Was it Durant?
Yeah, it was Durant.
Yeah, Durant. Yes, that's right.
After a big win, he's the first one that wants to get his face in front of the camera and own the win for the team. And after a loss, he's like, after Alex Cora's fired, he says, Roman Anthony, you go talk to the media.
Right.
Like whenever something big happens, he's like, get away from me. Go talk to someone else. I'm not the leader you want to talk to when things are going bad.
Give me the stat, Marcus, you just had.
Yeah, so 51 at-bats in July, 8 hits. He's had 7 walks. So
he's had 58 plate appearances and 8 hits, which is worse.
Exactly. And right, like that's an average of 157. He has 190 on the year.
Yeah.
Right. Where's he batting in the lineup? 7th.
6th or 7th, yeah.
So
He was supposed to be like a
number one hitter.
All-Star Game MVP 2024.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a leadoff hitter.
This guy's batting $190. He weighs more than $190, I'd argue.
And then Marcus made a great comparison, too, because I was talking about how he muffed that one in the first inning in the second game off the wall. How many games has he played in left field at Fenway during his career? And then you turn around and you watch the guy from the Orioles.
Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
He just turns around.
Smooth as silk.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Got it, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, smooth as silk. Yeah, and it's just, so once again, okay, he got a big big triple and he's fast.
And he can stretch a single to a double when you want, but he causes problems off the field. He yells at fans. He yells at media members.
He doesn't hit well.
He can't play the field.
Outfielder.
No, I just saw a tweet. It said, trade idea. Boston gives up Duran, and that was it. Doesn't get, sell him to whoever wants him.
Right. I know. Crazy. All right, we got to get to break. We got Larry Mahoney coming up shortly. Casella, good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerhardwork.com. Connect to the Ticket's social media channels, 92.9 The Ticket on Facebook, 92.9 The Ticket on Instagram, sports.net.maine on TikTok, and our YouTube page, Sportsnet Maine. And Tim's Plumbing, hey, mark your calendar, Saturday, October 8th, Ricky Craven Speedway roars to life with Tim's Plumbing 100, featuring Darling's Pro Stock Series and $4,000 to the winner. It's one of the biggest nights of the season. Bring the family out, experience the excitement. Tim's Plumbing 100, Saturday, August 8th. Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Joining us now on the Heroes Hotline from the Bangor Daily, Larry Mahoney. How we doing, Larry?
Good, Hershey. We're snapping you in the line here with the Romantics. What I like about you, and of course they're on the bill tonight at the
that's right.
Bangor Savings Amphitheater, the concert series with Toto and Christopher Krusz.
Yep.
What I like about you, only peaked at number 49 in the U.S., but it's a classic.
Oh, you couldn't escape this.
No, number 2 in Australia. One of their other hit was "Talking in Your Sleep." That went to number 3 in the U.S.
Yep.
Number 1 in Canada. But what I like about you is just so much so much better. Just "Talking in Your Sleep" is not a bad song, but it's got so much life to it. It's just a great tune. Detroit-based band. They were factory workers and machinists. Wanted to get out of that.
Awesome.
Stratosphere and formed a rock band. Now tonight you have 3 bands with a total of 7 top 5 hits, including 3 number 1s. Believe it or not, Christopher Krusz had 2 of them.
Right.
With Sailing and the theme from Arthur. Ride Like the Wind was number 2 for 4 weeks behind Call Me by Blondie. Of course, Toto, Africa was number 1, but Hold the Line.
Yep.
It was also Hold the Line, and what was their other hit? Africa and
I gotta look because I love me some Toto.
Yeah, Hold the Line. What was the other one?
Let's see. We got Rosanna.
Rosanna,
about Rosanna Arquette. Yeah.
Yeah, all top 5 hits. Africa was number 1. And
yep.
So there you go. You got 3 bands tonight. Between the 3 of them, 7 top 5 hits, including 3 number 1. So
right,
and it's going to be a beautiful night. It's going to be a little bit chilly, but beautiful night for it. So, but yeah, what I like about you, it became a classic, and if you Google it and stuff, that's what it says. It says even though it may not have been a big, I don't know why it didn't go higher than 49. I mean, it's definitely a top 10. Maybe a top 5 hit in my book, and probably in my top 100 of all time. I just didn't get the, it was released in '79, just didn't get the accolades it deserved. But it did, it became, like you said, it became like an anthem, and people
right.
knew the song, and you heard that a lot more than Talking in Your Sleep anyway.
Yeah, well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Talking in Your Sleep came out, you said that, What I Like About You came out in '79. Talking in Your Sleep, I think, came out in like 82, 83.
Yeah, 83.
And so,
did, yeah.
And I think they did a video for it. So that's like when MTV and videos started like really pumping up the charts quite a bit.
True.
So
yeah.
if it flipped, I think you would have seen What I Like About You.
What I Like About You.
Yeah, up there. So, yeah, very interesting, though. And it's a great bill, like you said, tonight over at the amphitheater. It should be a fun night for a bunch of us going over there. Are you going?
No.
Okay.
No, like I said, What I Like About You, of the 7 songs we just mentioned, that's the one that is by far better. The others, Christopher Cross doesn't do anything for me. I mean, nice songs and everything, but just
soft rock.
Soft rock. Toto, okay, but again, none of those songs on a scale of 1 to 10 would be above a 5 or 5.5.
There you go.
What I Like About You is a 9 or a 10, and Talking in Your Sleep maybe a 6. But I'll pass on it. But I think people are going to be really treated. People who like those bands. And like I said, What I Like About You, I mean, great story of these factory workers that decided they didn't want to work in factories anymore. They got together and formed a band, and they went through a lot. They went through a lot of management was ripping them off. They had to go to court, so they couldn't record for like 10 years between the mid '80s, mid '90s, until finally they won their lawsuit. The management misappropriating their funds, keeping their funds. They weren't getting the royalties they deserved, and so they had to go to court, and they couldn't record for 10 years.
Unbelievable.
But they're back. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, making their money now. Making up for it a little bit. There we go.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So, Larry, what have you been up to? What has gotten your attention recently?
Well, I'm on vacation this week, Greg.
Good for you.
Obviously, the Red Sox, when they had their 15-game winning streak snap last night, but to win 15 games in a row, to tie the franchise record going back to 1946, and to do it without your 2 primary offensive catalysts, Trevor Story and Roman Anthony, and without your ace, Garrett Crochet. I mean, a lot of no-names out there, a lot of young pitching staff's been outstanding.
Yep.
And, they went from irrelevance to all of a sudden they're a wild card team. They're a playoff team right now. And even though they're only 3 games above 500, that's the plight of the American League this year. There's only 5 teams above 500 in the American League.
Right.
So you're not going to have to win 90 or 92 games to get in the playoffs. I think 86 could get you there. So, that the key now, Greg, as you know, is what do they do now? Okay,
sure.
The winning streak's over now. Do you keep playing good baseball and keep winning series, or do you go into a funk and lose 7 in a row? And that's what everyone's going to be watching now. I find it hard to believe that they would end up with a long losing streak because their pitching's been outstanding. Their relief pitching, Whitlock's 13 appearances without giving up a run, but their starting pitching, those young pitchers, have really, really done well. And like I said, the American League, once you get in now, since they've gone to the best of 3 series instead of the 1-game deal in the wild card setup, now you got a shot. So let's see if they can rebound from the loss last night. They got the Jays tonight, or Jays coming in. So let's see see if they can continue playing good baseball and make a playoff run.
Larry, there's less than 2 weeks until the trade deadline. I think they've got like 10 or 11 games or something like that. If you were Craig Breslow, are you out and are you calling around? Are you shopping or are you calling around or are you selling?
Oh, I'm buying. I'm looking for a power bat, a right-handed power hitter. I think they've got the pitching, and if they can get some of the pitchers back, I mean, obviously Tanner Houck's another one that's been out, but depending if they can get some pitchers back, I'm out trying to get a power hitter, a right-handed power, and you can always get another pitcher. If there's a pitcher out there on a non-contender, you can get draft picks or something. Well, not so much draft picks in Major League Baseball. It's more a matter of prospects. If you have some prospects that they may want to take a chance on, and they want to unload a contract. But yeah, they really shouldn't sit still. I mean, if you can add another pitcher and then primarily a right-handed power hitter, that would be desirable in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, before the 15-game winning streak, they were definitely sellers at the trade deadline. But now they've got. Now they're in the picture, and you got Abreu, and Contreras has had a great year. Abreu's starting to hit, and you got a lot of no names that are coming through. But yeah, if they could add another power bat, that would be huge, and another pitcher.
Larry, you had written something about, I caught our attention. Northern Maine basketball next year is going to be playing some Canadian teams. Is that accurate?
Well, no, just a tournament.
Okay.
A tournament this year. A tournament up in Aroostook counties. Actually, it starts tomorrow, and they used to have the Canusa Games in Brewer, and there was a Riverview, New Brunswick would send athletes down here, and they would compete against Brewer athletes one year, and the next year Brewer would go to Riverview, and went from I think 1967 to 1994. And this was Skip Chappelle's idea, but a lot of people, Larry Gardner, Sean Dow, a lot of people got together, put this thing together, and so you're going to have 5 Canadian teams and 5 U.S. teams from the county playing, and each team from the U.S. will play the 5 Canadian teams and vice versa, and then you'll have playoffs. And there's also going to be 3 middle school girls teams from each from Canada and from Aroostook County will be playing each other. Canada didn't have any high school age girls teams. There's also going to be a tournament for high school girls, American high school girls, that's going to be separate from this Aroostook County team. But now what they're trying to do is maybe get back to the Canusa Games where they had, I think they competed in 18 different sports, trying to get again, and it was primarily for in light of now we got even more trade tensions between the U.S. and Canada, and just trying to the motto is basketball shows no borders. In other words, here's something that trying to again just mend relationships between the U.S. and Canada and doing in a nice way, in a competitive way, and again, we've got a great relationship with the Canadians, and obviously this administration is creating some stress on that relationship. So it's going to be up in Fort Fairfield, and they're going to play. They've got some courts in Fort Fairfield, and they're going to play at Umpy also. So
awesome.
That's what's going on, and let's see. And other things, Greg will. Maine picked 7th in the CAA preseason football poll.
Do you think that's about fair? You think that's a fair spot for them?
I think so, because they really haven't, they really haven't penetrated the top 4 in recent years. I mean, last year I think they wind up tied for 4th with their 500 record in the conference, but they do have 4 players that were chosen to be first team all conference. I mean, the big question mark for them obviously is who's going to win the quarterback job, and can you get whoever it's going to be is not going to have very much experience.
Sure.
But they do have the one thing. Two of their preseason first team choices were offensive linemen, Anthony Iliano and Andrew Koken. So I mean, you build your offense with your offensive line. So they've got 2 potential all-conference linemen. So you build from there. You have an honorable mention running back in Rashawn Marshall. So they've got some pieces in place. Defensively, they've got to replace linebackers and the defensive line, but Chris Bacon is back. He's a first-teamer. Jamari on the defensive line, and Jamari Gibson, the cornerback. So they were chosen to the preseason all conference, all CAA team. And then Takai Chisholm, another defensive lineman, and Sam Trombley, the place kicker, were also chosen to the honorable mention. So, I think they'll be competitive. If you look at their schedule, Greg, you look at their conference schedule, and they play 4 teams that were picked ahead of them and 4 teams that were picked immediately behind them.
Yep.
They've got to play Rhode Island, who was picked to win it again. They're picked number 1, obviously. Elon, number 3. New Hampshire, number 4. And Towson, number 6. So they play them. New Hampshire has a new coach, so you're not sure how that's going to play out. Then they also play the teams immediately behind them. Campbell, number 8. Bryant, number 9. Newcomer, Sacred Heart, number 10. And Albany, number 11. So it's it's a schedule that's I think somewhat favorable. I mean, it's the type of thing where if they can get some momentum early, they play their first game at Towson, so they play a conference game on August 27th to start the season. But yeah, I think 7th is pretty much what you might think with the quarterback issues, and not sure who's gonna win the job. And they did the defense did take some hits up front and in the linebacker core, but we'll wait and see. Like I said, as you know, with attrition, your William and Marys, your Villanovas, your Delawares, they're all gone. They've all moved on. James Madison. So, I mean, the league isn't what it once was, isn't as good as it once was. But that's not a bad thing because, for a team like Maine, and every team in the conference, you may not get as many postseason NCAA berths, but still you'll have a better shot at earning a berth.
Sure.
Because, again, some of the heavy hitters have left.
Absolutely. Larry, we are up against it. That's good stuff. Football season is going to be here before we know it. But awesome to catch up with you. And we'll talk with you next week, okay?
Okay, Greg. Thanks, man. Have a great weekend.
Awesome, Larry.
Thanks for everything.
Awesome. All right. Larry Mahoney, Bangor Daily. We'll be back with takeaways. Okay, coming up on the drive, Jim and Mark are going to be down at Heroes Live today for the drive. They're going to have Chris Price and Tim Healy on. And also Bill Dunnett. He's going to be talking 92.9's Sox tickets sweepstakes, which are coming your way next week. We'll have the phone lines working for those for sure. So stay tuned for that. Takeaways, gentlemen.
Takeaways, big weekend for the Red Sox. The win streak's over, but you go on the road, and this road trip is your last test to prove that you are a buyer at the deadline for Craig Breslow.
Marcus?
Oh, my God. I mean, we weren't able to get 16, but 15 is still historic. We haven't seen that in 80 years. It's still something to be proud of, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Should feel a lot better if they didn't start 14 games under 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? We saw history. We saw history yesterday, man. That's pretty awesome. Didn't think we were going to have anything like that this year. Hats off to the guys playing. And you know what? We all can use a little bit of a do-over sometimes. This Sox team and organization just earned a do-over. Let's see what they do with it going forward. Can't wait. That's going to do it for us, and that's going to do it for the Morning Roast this week. I hope everybody has an awesome day today and weekend. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Morning Roast, 92.9 The Ticket, Maine Sports Leader.